Hello, and welcome to this pre-recorded event for GCSE Physics. Feedback on June 2015, Unit 2. To help you get the most out of this feedback, you may want to have the following documents handy, as we will refer to them during the session. These are the aims and objectives of the course. The first question we will look at is from the higher tier paper. It is one of the 2 extended writing items on the paper. Candidates had to apply their knowledge and understanding of light-dependent resistors to an unfamiliar situation. This candidate gave a detailed, well-structured explanation, which linked light level to resistance, current, and ideas about energy saving, and so achieved level 3, scoring 6 marks. Candidates who did well in this type of question had a clear understanding of the physics involved, and were able to apply this to the situation involving the traffic sign. This response to the same question was well structured, but did not make any reference to the changing resistance of the light-dependent resistor, and so achieved level 2, scoring 4 marks. This candidate showed some understanding of how light level affects the resistance of a light-dependent resistor, but did not link this to the current involved, and did not relate it to the situation involving the traffic sign. This was a level 1 answer, scoring 2 marks. Some 6-mark questions test how well candidates can apply their knowledge and understanding of physics to an unfamiliar situation. Successful candidates made sure the links were clear and their explanation followed a logical sequence. This question is from the foundation paper. It required candidates to analyze a graph and interpret the information it gave. Candidates who did well noticed the question asked about the speed of the car, even though it was a distance-time graph. Their answers referred to the constant speed at the start and slowing down later on. This was a calculation from the foundation paper. The main problem was remembering to square just the velocity. This scored all 3 marks. This demonstrates the value of showing each step in the working. The first mark is scored for the substitution into the equation, clearly shown in the working. The next mark available is for squaring the velocity. This is not shown in the working, and the final answer is not correct, so the response scores just the 1 mark. In calculation questions, the correct numerical answer scored full marks, even without working being shown. However, it is advisable to show working at each step, so that marks can be gained, even if the final numerical answer is not correct. This is particularly important with equations involving squared values, such as the equation for kinetic energy. Activity 1 is based on question 4C from the higher paper. Using the mark scheme, decide on what mark you think this should be awarded and why. At this point, you may wish to pause the video to carry out the activity. This question requires candidates to present a coherent explanation linking 3 of the points in the mark scheme. The question itself does not offer much structure, but the mark scheme has several alternatives to accommodate responses with different structures. This response linked the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th marking points from the mark scheme, and so scored all 3 marks. Successful candidates could link ideas about the properties of radioactive radon gas with the effect it can have on people living nearby. This links only 2 of the points on the mark scheme. It does not mention either the properties of radon or how radon gets into people. This scored 2 marks. This candidate knew some of the harmful effects of radioactivity, but did not link them to this particular case. This scored 1 mark. This response scored no marks. Less successful candidates usually try to answer the question with a single statement. This was from the foundation paper. It was one of the 2 extended writing items on the paper. The response scored no marks. The candidate gave no relevant facts about either the types of radiation or the film badge, even though there was an awareness that the different types of radiation might have different effects on different materials. This candidate was just able to identify the 3 types of radiation. The response was level 1, scoring 2 marks. Candidates had gaps in their knowledge and did not base their responses on the introduction and diagram. In this extended writing question, the diagram could help candidates structure their answers. The mark scheme shows the variety of ways in which candidates could gain credit for applying their knowledge in this situation. Activity 2 is based on question 6C, Part 3, from the foundation paper. Using the mark scheme, decide on what mark you think this should be awarded and why. At this point, you may wish to pause the video to carry out the activity. A good explanation. The those in the last line of the response is taken as referring to the different materials in front of the film. The points are linked together well in this response. Improvements can be made in all these issues if candidates practice the suggestions made earlier when they are attempting questions in past papers and other support material. Here are some useful links for examination statistics and grade boundaries. We have just published our specifications on the Edexcel website. They have been published early in draft form to enable teachers to have early sight of our proposed approach. We are also running a series of launch events. Our draft specifications and sample assessment material, as well as further information about our launch events, can be found on edexcel.com. Thank you for taking part in this event. You will soon receive an email directing you to an online feedback form. The form takes no more than a couple of minutes to complete. Please let us know your thoughts by filling in this short form.